Mastering Reference Prompting for AI Interactions, a guide for DevOps engineers. In today's rapidly evolving technological landscape, the integration of AI into DevOps workflows has become more than just a trend, it's a necessity. From automating deployment pipelines to optimizing resource allocation and analyzing logs, AI tools are now deeply embedded in almost every facet of the DevOps lifecycle. Yet the effectiveness of these tools often hinges on one critical skill: their ability to communicate with them effectively. This is where reference prompting comes into play. For DevOps engineers, mastering reference prompting isn't just about issuing commands to an AI system. It's about crafting instructions that are clear, structured, and context-rich to ensure precise, actionable results. At its essence, reference prompting involves providing an AI model with structured context, examples, and specific instructions to guide its responses more effectively. Unlike traditional prompts, which might rely on vague requests, reference prompting uses concrete examples and clear contextual boundaries. This approach minimizes ambiguity and steers their AI towards outputs that align closely with the engineer's intentions. For example, instead of asking an AI to generate a Kubernetes deployment file, a well-structured reference prompt might provide a specific YML template as a baseline and request modifications based on unique requirements. This difference might seem subtle, but it has a profound impact on the accuracy and usefulness of their AI's response. One of the most significant advantages of reference prompting lies in its ability to enhance consistency across workflows. In a DevOps environment, uniformity is non-negotiable. Whether managing Terraform scripts, Docker configurations, or Jenkins pipelines, deviations in implementation can lead to deployment failures, security vulnerabilities, or resource mismanagement. Reference prompting reduces these risks by establishing a clear framework for AI-generated outputs. When an AI tool is fed with consistent patterns and examples, it mirrors those structures in its responses, making the output predictable and reliable across different use cases. This consistency becomes especially valuable in large organizations where multiple teams rely on shared resources and standardized practices. Collaboration, a cornerstone of successful DevOps culture, also benefits greatly from reference prompting. Miscommunication often emerges as a bottleneck when multiple teams, developers, operations engineers, and QA specialists interact with shared AI tools. A well-constructed reference prompt serves as a bridge, ensuring that everyone interacts with their AI under the same set of assumptions and guidelines. For instance, when troubleshooting an issue using an AI chatbot, providing detailed log excerpts as references alongside a clear problem statement significantly improves the quality of the diagnosis. The AI can identify patterns in the logs and offer solutions more aligned with the team's specific environment and operational standards. In practical terms, reference prompting is particularly powerful when applied to infrastructure as code, IaaC, tools like Terraform, or configuration management systems like Ansible. These tools thrive on reusable modular patterns, and AI models can replicate these patterns effectively when given clear reference examples. An AI might generate a Terraform script that aligns perfectly with organizational standards if prompted with a sample module and explicit instructions on resource configurations. Similarly, Kubernetes manifests, which are notorious for their verbosity and complexity, can be crafted more efficiently when their AI is given reference templates to follow. The result is not only faster delivery, but also fewer errors caused by inconsistencies or misinterpretations. Consider the following example. A DevOps engineer wants an AI assistant to generate a Kubernetes deployment manifest for an Nginx container. A vague prompt such as create a Kubernetes deployment YML for Nginx might return a generic file that lacks the nuances of the organization's standards. Instead, the engineer uses reference prompting. Using the following Kubernetes YML as a reference, create a deployment manifest for an Nginx container. Ensure there are 2 replicas, set resource limits to 512 miles memory and 0.5 CPU, and include a readiness probe for the Nginx health check. The engineer also includes the following snippet of a previous Kubernetes deployment YML as a reference. With this reference, their AI not only generates a Kubernetes manifest that adheres to the organization's conventions, but also includes the specified configurations without requiring multiple iterations. This example highlights how reference prompting eliminates ambiguity, reduces manual adjustments, and accelerates productivity. However, Reference prompting is not without its challenges. Overloading an AI model with excessive context or irrelevant details can lead to confusing outputs. The key lies in striking a balance between providing enough context for clarity and avoiding unnecessary noise. DevOps engineers must also remain aware of token limitations in certain AI models, which restrict how much input the model can process at once. When crafting prompts, engineers must prioritize the most critical references and context to ensure their AI remains focused on the task at hand. Additionally, reference prompting is rarely a one-shot process. It often requires iterative refinement, with each interaction serving as a feedback loop to improve subsequent prompts. Incorporating reference prompting into DevOps workflows also enhances observability and monitoring systems. When monitoring configurations are generated or adjusted by AI, providing reference templates ensures uniformity across metrics, alerts, and dashboards. This consistency allows observability tools like Prometheus or Grafana to deliver more meaningful insights without requiring extensive manual tuning for each new deployment. By ensuring a standard reference for logging and monitoring configurations, DevOps engineers reduce the cognitive load required to interpret diverse outputs across multiple services. As AI continues to become an integral part of DevOps practices, the skill of reference prompting will grow in importance. Future AI tools may natively incorporate reference libraries or frameworks specifically designed for DevOps use cases. Engineers might be able to maintain repositories of reusable reference prompts tailored to their organizational standards, enabling seamless collaboration and scalability across teams and environments. In such a scenario, the engineer's role would shift from merely writing prompts to curating and evolving reference libraries that align with evolving system requirements and best practices. In conclusion, reference prompting isn't just another AI skill, it's a mindset. It represents a fundamental shift in how DevOps engineers interact with AI systems, moving away from vague requests towards structured contextual communication. By mastering reference prompting, engineers can unlock the full potential of AI tools, enhancing efficiency, consistency, and collaboration across every layer of the DevOps lifecycle. As AI becomes increasingly interwoven into daily operations, those who excel in crafting effective reference prompts will be well positioned to lead the next generation of intelligent, automated DevOps practices.